which basically means that a lot of Kenyans are getting online through mobile phones first. Unlike many other places in the developed world whereby people get online through desktops, we see that Kenya is a mobile-only country, which means for us, as we describe mobile-only, is that over 75% of the population that's online accesses the internet through mobile phones. This has been driven primarily by lower cost of data and the better devices.
So it's very clear in Google that we need to start thinking about and building for markets such as ours here in Kenya. Most Kenyans will access their first online experience through a smartphone. And we know that that is going to be the only way that they're going to be experiencing the internet going forward. So how do we build for users in that world? Even though most people are accessing the internet through smartphones, doesn't mean that they're the greatest smartphones. They have lower RAM, lower memory, big challenges. We see that every day in the phones that are being sold in the market. We see that there are issues around connectivity, that data is expensive, it's hard to manage, you're always trying to find the best package or the best bundle to get the most out of your data. One of the key things that we've been looking at is the challenge of data. I think everyone in this room can relate to the challenge of turning your data on and off, to buying daily or weekly bundles, to really just being very conscious of the fact that data is running out and not being able to do all that you want to do at any point in time.
Datally is a new data management app that helps you understand, control, and save your mobile data. This is something that's incredibly important for a lot of Kenyans across the country, because whenever you're having those challenges around data, trying to understand how much different apps consume, how much you have remaining, etc., is something that you want to be able to take control of. And the ability to be able to know when you can turn on and turn off different apps so that you can be able to maintain the amount of data that you have is really incredibly useful. But last but not least, the ability to save your mobile data, because one of the things that we have on Datally is this function that helps you find Wi-Fi hotspots close to you. When it comes to understanding, you can be able to understand how much data you've used per day and over time, and you can be able to turn on and off that data. And that comes with the control. The ability to know what apps are utilizing what, how much data, which ones are using more or less, and you can be able to really control and allow the apps that you want to have access to your data, have access at that particular point. And then last but not least, as I mentioned, with saving, the ability to see how many Wi-Fi hotspots are around you, what may be open and what may be closed, and then you can be able to actually access that.
If I can open up an app and just showcase this to you as well, for example, Instagram, which is a core driver of my data usage, I'd like to showcase that to you. With this particular setting on, as I scroll through my Instagram as it loads, I'll show you a core feature with regards to data usage and control. So as I scroll through this, you can see quickly the Datally app has an icon, a bubble, if you will, on the side that gives me a quick high-level overview of what I'm using per session. It will display shortly. There you go. You can see as I scroll through my feed, I've used X amount of data as I scroll through. It gives me the option to block that particular data and stop Instagram from consuming my data as I scroll through my feed, or just gives me an overview, a very high-level overview of what is consuming my data when. What Datally allows you to do as well is find the nearest hotspot near you and connect to that. Gives you status of whether that hotspot, for example, is open. Gives you an overview of how far you are from that particular hotspot. So for example, here we are, Server Stanley. It gives me an overview of what other hotspots are close to me. Tai Chi Restaurant, for example, Lone Row House, Sanlam, Kenya, Tangerine, Rehema House, Kimadi Street, not too far from here. Also gives me a status as to whether those particular hotspots are open and open for me to connect to. So very, very useful, very insightful. I can get directions to that as well. As you continue to use the app, this is important to note, as you continue to use the app, it's possible to rate each one of these Wi-Fi hotspots. So then you can share this with the community that uses the Datally as an app, and allows them to get to the quickest, or the quickest route, the shortest distance to the Wi-Fi hotspot.
So the ability to be able to control your data and be able to turn off all the background data being consumed, then you can pick and choose which apps are using data. That gives you that control. Therefore, there isn't data being consumed in the background that you don't know about. And you can also see on the dashboard what apps are using what data. And as Jeff showed in the demo, you can actually, when in a particular app, you can see how much data is being consumed at an instant on a real-time basis. Therefore, that gives you that control of knowing how fast a particular image takes, how much data a particular image takes to load, etc. So that's what happens. But at the end of the day, as a consumer, you do have to take the control yourself to be able to turn it on and utilize it, because we create it and then you use it.